Hello and welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn to avoid some important mistakes, so let's get started. First, this is not correct.
English is changing so fast, and if you're still using words from your textbook from 2015, you're going to sound a little outdated.
I cannot say you're going to sound outdated. You gonna? You gonna? Or you're gonna? You're gonna. That's correct. I cannot say you gonna. You're gonna. You are, contraction, you're gonna. Pronounce that g, that hard g sound very clearly. You're gonna. You're gonna sound outdated. Old. So if you use old words, you're gonna sound outdated. Let's practice. If you use old words, are you gonna sound outdated? That's right. If you use old words and old expressions, you're going to sound outdated. Pronunciation, you're gonna. Make that sound and that hard g. You're going to sound outdated. This is also not correct.
Word number 7, leverage. It means to use something to your advantage. We can leverage our email list for this campaign. We can use it for our advantage. It's the smart-sounding way to say use.
The word is not pronounced leverage. We do not use 3 syllables with this word. You cannot say leverage. We say leverage. Make it 2 syllables. Leverage. Leverage. So again, not leverage, but leverage. And it means to use something to your advantage. Let's hear that example again.
Word number 7, leverage. It means to use something to your advantage. We can leverage our email list for this campaign. We can use it for our advantage.
You can leverage your email list for this campaign? I don't know what she's talking about. Let's look at another example. If you're an influencer, you can leverage your influence to get sponsors. Let's take a closer look. This is a lever. And if you have a lever, you have leverage. It's a noun. You have leverage. That means you have a tool, something that gives you an advantage. That's leverage. So we can use this word as a verb too. You can leverage something to get what you want. To use something for your advantage. So the example. If you're an influencer, you can leverage your influence to get sponsors in order to make money. Let's practice. If you're an influencer, can you leverage your influence to get sponsors? That's right. If you're an influencer, you can leverage your influence to get sponsors. This is also not correct.
I want to recommend a course that my team has created for people like you who want to sound natural in English, who understand that they have some gaps, maybe in grammar, maybe in vocabulary. It covers grammar, it covers vocabulary.
The word is not pronounced vocabulary. It's not vocabulary. It's not uri. We don't use the sound like burger, vocabulary. It's vocabulary. Vocabulary. We use the air sound like in hair and chair. Lair. Vocabulary. Vocabulary. Not vocabulary, but vocabulary. Example, she's studying to improve her vocabulary. Let's practice. Is she studying to improve her vocabulary? That's right, she's studying to improve her vocabulary. This is also not correct.
Instead of just going through the motions, it means you're paying attention on purpose, not running on autopilot.
Running on autopilot? Autopilot? We don't pronounce it this way. We say autopilot. Auto. We need that long O like know and go. Autopilot. Together. Autopilot. So if you say somebody is running on autopilot, that means they're just going through the motions, not really thinking about what they're doing. They're running on autopilot. Example, he's doing his job, but he's just going through the motions. He's not thinking about what he's doing. He's running on autopilot. Let's practice. He's just going through the motions, doing his job, not thinking about what he's doing. Is he running on autopilot? That's right, he's running on autopilot. Let's look at these 2 words. Lisa? Okay, I'm making a video. Be quiet. What are you doing? I'm making a video. Now you're on my video, look.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'm making a video. You gonna stay there? Oh, the door. Let's look at these two words.
Hi.
Let's look at these two words. The first word is autopilot. The first O is the long O like know and go. Autopilot. And the second word is automatic. Automatic. So we see the first O is pronounced with the sound, like in cup and up. Automatic. Automatic. Not automatic, but automatic. So we have two different pronunciations. The first word is autopilot, and the second word is automatic. Confusing, right? This is also not correct.
Her story about burnout really resonated with me.
Her story about burnout really resonated with me. We cannot pronounce the word resonated. We have two stresses with this word. Resonate. The first stress, the primary stress, is the first syllable, resonate. The secondary stress is the third syllable, resonate. In the past, resonated. If I want to emphasize the word, I can stress the first syllable more because that's the primary stress. Resonated, if I want to emphasize the word. But I cannot overly stress the secondary stress. I cannot say resonated. It really resonated with me. We cannot do this. The primary stress is on the first syllable, resonated. The story really resonated with me. Not resonated, but resonated. And it means it affected me. I understood it. It made me feel something. It resonated with me. When she heard the story, it really resonated with her. She felt it. She understood it. It had an impact. It really resonated with her. Let's practice. When she heard the story, did it really resonate with her? That's right. When she heard the story, it really resonated with her. Thank you for watching, and keep watching for more. First, this is not correct.
Now the next phrase you can use, it's my pleasure. A typical example might be when you cook a meal for friends and they say thanks, and you reply my pleasure because it was a pleasure to cook for them. It is also appropriate in formal conversations when someone thanks you for doing a favor and want to show that you enjoyed helping. This phrase is very useful in the workplace.
So we're talking about the phrase, it's my pleasure. When someone says thank you, you can say, it's my pleasure.
It is also appropriate in formal conversations.
It is also appropriate in formal conversations. Pronunciation, we cannot say appropriate. We have to use the long O for the second syllable. Appropriate. Not appropriate, but appropriate. Use the long O like know and go. Appropriate. So I can say it is also appropriate for formal conversations.
It is also appropriate in formal conversations when someone thanks you for doing a favor.
The second part, when someone thanks you for doing a favor. Doing a favor is very general, but you're talking about someone. This is a specific someone, so we have to use an object. Doing them a favor. When someone thanks you for doing them a favor is correct. We need them to refer to the someone. The specific someone you're talking about.
It is also appropriate in formal conversations when someone thanks you for doing a favor and want to show that you enjoyed helping. This phrase is very useful in the workplace.
So it is also appropriate in formal conversations when someone thanks you for doing them a favor and want to show that you enjoyed helping. First I thought it was and wants to show, but you're not talking about the someone, you're talking about you. So we have to say you. And you want to show that you enjoyed helping. We need the you here. We cannot omit it. We have to say you. And you want to show that you enjoyed helping. So it's correct to say it is also appropriate in formal conversations when someone thanks you for doing them a favor and you want to show that you enjoyed helping. So talking about the phrase, it's my pleasure. Is it appropriate in formal conversations? That's right, it's appropriate in formal conversations. Pronunciation, appropriate. Let's practice. Can you use this phrase when someone thanks you for doing them a favor? That's right, you can use this phrase when someone thanks you for doing them a favor. You can say you're welcome or it's my pleasure. Can you use this phrase when you want to show that you enjoyed helping? That's right, you can use this phrase when you want to show that you enjoyed helping. It's my pleasure. This is also not correct.
Hi. So cute. It's the first time I see a cat walking around.
I cannot say it's the first time I see a cat walking around. After it's the first time, I have to use present perfect. I have to say it's the first time that I've seen a cat walking around. From the past to the present, I have to use present perfect. I cannot use simple present. I cannot say it's the first time I see a cat walking around. We have to say I've seen. It's the first time or this is the first time. This is the first time I've seen a cat walking around. It's the first time I've seen. I have seen, contraction, I've. It's the first time I've seen a cat walking around. Example, she's surprised because it's the first time she has seen a cat walking around. She has, contraction, she's. It's the first time she's seen a cat walking around. Let's practice. Why is she surprised? Is it the first time she's seen a cat walking around? That's right, it's the first time she's seen a cat walking around. So after it's the first time, we need to use present perfect. It's the first time I've seen something or it's the first time she's seen something. This is also not correct.
The shop Tourbillon doesn't have all of the watches, they only have 6 brands. But I wanted to walk around San Francisco and teach you some more brand names. So this brand name is very popular for watches called Cartier. Cartier.
The brand is not pronounced Cartier. Cartier. It has 2 pronunciations in America. You can say Cartier or Cartier. The last vowel is the long A sound like day and say. Not not Cartier, but Cartier. Cartier or Cartier. It's a brand.
Jesus Christ, the Cartier?
I mean, if I go into Cartier...
All dressed up.
Cartier coming.
I saw Eva selling her watch back to Cartier for cash.
Speaking of stupid, today I bought a $100,000 Cartier watch, but I'm afraid to wear it, so I'm going to keep it in my safe deposit box.
Example, this is a Cartier watch. Let's practice. Do you have a Cartier watch? Me either. Keep watching to learn to avoid more mistakes. First, this is not correct.
Americans would say ama instead of I am, they would say ama. Then they would say fan, and they would connect fan with the next phrase, fan of baseball.
It's true. I'm is pronounced ama. But I'm a fan of. It is not pronounced fan of baseball. The word of is pronounced with the short sound like cup and up. Not o like no and go. Not of, but of. I'm a fan of. Remember the short sound like cup and up, closed and relaxed. Of. I'm a fan of baseball. Not really. I'm not a fan of baseball. What about you? Are you a fan of baseball? Very good. Another pronunciation option we have with of is to say and not pronounce the v sound at all. But this is only when it's before a consonant. We see the B in baseball, that's a consonant. So we can say I'm a fan of baseball. Again, with the short sound like cup and up, closed and relaxed. I'm not a fan of baseball. You can say it like that, or you can pronounce the v sound. But keep the vowel short and closed. Of. I'm not a fan of baseball. Or maybe you are. So again, I'm not a fan of, I'm not a fan of baseball, or I'm not a fan of baseball. Both pronunciations are correct. This is also not correct.
I saw Alice with an older man. Now it's your turn. Try to connect words. I'll give you 3 seconds. The way you say this phrase with connecting words, I saw Alice with an older man. Saw Alice, older man.
You cannot say I saw Alice. I saw Alice with an older man? The word is pronounced saw. Use the aw sound like on and off. Like call. Oh. It's back here. Oh, I saw. Not I saw Alice. We don't pronounce the W. There's no W sound in it. It's I saw Alice. If I link the sounds, it's like this. I saw Alice. I saw Alice. I saw Alice with an older man. Not I saw Alice, but I saw Alice. Link the sounds. I saw Alice with an older man. Let's practice. Did you see Alice with an older man? That's right. I saw Alice with an older man. This is also not correct.
So if you want to sound like an American person, you really need to sit down on a couch and, just relax your jaw, relax your mouth.
You need to sit down and couch and relax. And couch? We use the connector on. Pronunciation. Use the aw sound like on and off. Like ball. Aw. It's back here. On. You sit on couch and relax? We need an article. Couch is countable. If it's one in general, I say sit on a couch and relax. But if it's the couch in my house, then it's specific and I say the. I need to sit on the couch and relax. Because it's a specific couch. It's my couch. Use the. So example, they're sitting on a couch. It's one in general. It's not my couch. So I say They're sitting on a couch. They're sitting on a couch. Let's practice. Are they sitting on a couch? That's right, they're sitting on a couch. But what if I say I'm tired? I'm tired. I need to sit on the couch. I'm talking about my couch. It's specific. I use the. Example, he's tired. He needs to sit on the couch. It's his couch. It's specific, so we use the article the. He's tired. He needs to sit on the couch. Let's practice. Does he need to sit on the couch? That's right. He needs to sit on the couch. He's tired. This is also not correct.
Because Americans like to omit words, they just throw them away from the phrase.
Americans like to emit words. Emit or omit. These are two different words. If I say emit means to produce, like it comes out of your mouth. You emit words? Well, they do come out of your mouth, but we don't say that. You can say emit sounds. You emit sounds. You produce them. They come out of your mouth. That's emit. But she wants to say omit. Use a long O like no and go. Omit. Americans like to omit words. Omit means to take out, to delete. We use delete when we talk about computers. You delete programs, you delete files. But for words in a sentence, you omit. Use the long O, like no and go. Omit. These are two different words. Emit, you emit sounds. They come out. You produce them. And omit means to remove them, to take them out. Example, cars emit exhaust. They emit fumes. They emit exhaust. They produce them. It comes out. That's emit. Cars emit exhaust. The exhaust comes out of the car. The car produces the exhaust. So we use the verb emit. Cars emit exhaust. Let's practice. Do cars emit exhaust? That's right. Cars emit exhaust. Well, some cars, not electric cars, but gas-powered cars, they emit exhaust. Let's hear that clip again.
Because Americans like to omit words, they just throw them away from the phrase.
Americans like to omit words. They just throw them away from the phrase. We cannot say this. We cannot say they just throw them away from the phrase. We have to use omit. They just omit them from the phrase. They omit the words from the phrase. They take them out. They remove them. But I cannot say they throw them away from the phrase. This doesn't work. So I can say Americans omit words from some phrases. It's true. Let's practice. Do Americans omit words from some phrases? That's right. Americans omit words from some phrases. They take them out. This is also not correct.
If you're like me, who wants to raise money in Silicon Valley.
I cannot say, if you're like me, who wants to raise money in Silicon Valley. This is not correct. We need an object. We have to use the object someone. If you are someone like me who wants to raise money in Silicon Valley, we have to use the object someone. I cannot say, if you are like me who wants to raise money in Silicon Valley. This is not correct. We have to use the object someone. If you are someone like me who wants to raise money in Silicon Valley. This is correct. This is also not correct.
And eliminating your accent is one of those things would really help you.
I cannot say eliminating your accent is one of those things would really help you. I need that to connect the phrases. I have to say eliminating your accent is one of those things that would really help you. I have to use that in this sentence. Because would help you is a dependent clause. We have to use that when it comes before a dependent clause, a clause that cannot stand on its own. Would really help you? That clause cannot stand on its own. It is a dependent clause. We have to use that. So it's correct to say eliminating your accent is one of those things that would really help you. Let's practice. Is eliminating your accent one of those things that would really help you? That's right. Eliminating your accent is one of those things that would really help you. This is also not correct.
I would switch on the music video and hope that the singer is actually singing, lip singing in the video so you can follow their lips.
The singer is singing or lip singing in the video? Lip singing, this doesn't exist. She means to say lip syncing. There's no such thing as lip singing. The phrase is lip syncing with the k sound. Sync. It's short for synchronize. See, you pretend you're singing and you make the words with your mouth. You synchronize your mouth with the words, but you're not really singing. They play the music in the background. That's lip syncing. They do this in videos. When you watch a video, they're not really playing the song. They're pretending to play the song. They're moving their mouth and the motions to make the words, but they're not really singing. That's lip syncing. Sync. Short for synchronize. Example. They're making a video, but they're not really singing the song. They're not playing the song. They're lip syncing to a recorded track. Let's practice. Are they really singing or are they lip syncing to the song? That's right. They're lip syncing to the song. They're not really singing. They're just moving their mouth, pretending they're singing. And we don't say this either.
Saying congrats instead of congratulations. Congrats on your birthday instead of congratulations on your birthday.
Congrats on your new apartment.
We don't say congratulations or congrats on your birthday. If it's your birthday, people don't say congratulations. They say happy birthday. It's true, the short version of congratulations is congrats, but don't use it on someone's birthday. Use it for something else when they really do something. When you get older, you don't really do anything. You don't deserve congratulations. You deserve happy birthday. Imagine you get a new apartment. I can say congrats on your new apartment, like the clip. Or if you get married, I say congratulations or short congrats, but not on your birthday. Don't say congrats and don't say congratulations on your birthday. We just don't do it. And we don't say this either.
Do you want me to close the window? Or, oh yeah, I know it's really cold. Do you want to use my sweater? So
we don't ask the question, do you want to use my sweater? Sweater. It's clothes. You don't use a sweater, you wear a sweater. So the question is, do you want to wear my sweater? Not use my sweater. And if it's cold, I would say, yes, I want to wear your sweater. I always wear a sweater. And I love to wear a sweater in fall. What about you? Do you love to wear a sweater in fall? Very good. Remember, you don't use a sweater, you wear a sweater. This is also not correct.
next thing you need to learn is to detect sarcasm. And you need to understand that it's sarcasm, because when I first came to an English-speaking country, I didn't understand sarcasm.
The word is not pronounced sarcasm. Sarcasm? She means sarcasm. We need the short ass sound like black cat for the second syllable. Chasm. Remember, this word has 3 syllables. Sar, Sarcasm. It looks like 2 syllables, but it's 3. Sarcasm. Not sarcasm, but sarcasm. Sarcasm is the noun, and sarcastic is the adjective. It's when you say the opposite of what is true to be funny. For example, she says, "That's great." But she doesn't mean it. She's saying the opposite. She's being sarcastic. This is an example of sarcasm. Let's practice. She said, "That's great," but she doesn't mean it. Is she being sarcastic? That's right, she's being sarcastic. Is this an example of sarcasm? That's right, this is an example of sarcasm. Not sarcasm, but sarcasm. This is also not correct.
He was telling me, you need to sell a house in order to walk into the store. And I'll be like, well, really? You need to sell a house? And he would go ahead and explain me that I am saying this sarcastically.
He would go ahead and explain me? First, we cannot say explain me. We say explain to me. We have to use the preposition to after explain. But he would? This is in the past. We have to say it was simple past. We can't use would here. She's telling a story about the past. We have to use past, not would. So it's correct to say he went ahead. Not he would go ahead, but he went ahead and explained to me. He went ahead and explained to me. Not he would go ahead and explain me. He went ahead and explained to me. So I corrected 2 mistakes, but there are really 3 mistakes in this. So let's listen again and see if you can find the 3rd mistake.
He was telling me, you need to sell a house in order to walk into the store. And I'll be like, well, really? You need to sell a house? And he would go ahead and explain me that I am saying this sarcastically.
So let me know in the comments what the 3rd mistake was. If you need to listen again, rewind it and listen again. But there is a 3rd mistake in this, so let me know in the comments what it was. This is also not correct.
Yeah is more informal, yeah is more casual, and yeah is something that's more widely used than yes. Yes is kind of, well, you know what's yes.
Yeah, sure.
I cannot say you know what's yes. You know what's yes? You know what yes is. If I say what's yes, that's a direct question, but this is not a direct question. It starts with you know. So we have to use the positive structure and say, you know what yes is. You understand what yes is. Use a positive structure, not a question structure. I know what yes is. That's a basic word. Do you know what yes is? That's right. I know what yes is. This is also not correct.
Thing number 1 that American people do is they cut off words.
I cannot say they cut off. They cut off words. The word is pronounced off. We cannot use the short sound like cup and up. The word is pronounced off. We use the sound like on, off, ball, call, audio. It's back here. Off. They cut off words. They cut off words. Not of, but off. Example. What happened to Marie Antoinette? They cut off her head. They didn't just cut her head, they removed it. They cut off her head. Horrible. What happened to Marie Antoinette? Did they cut off her head? That's right, they cut off her head. Off. Not of, but off. They cut off her head. This is also not correct.
And whatever you're going to do in English, because you're going to get a lower grade.
I cannot say you gonna get a lower grade. You gonna? Gonna is a reduction of going to. So we need the action are, but we have to make a contraction. You are, contraction, you're. You're gonna. Not you gonna, but you're gonna. It's a small sound, but it's very important. You're gonna get a lower grade. If you don't finish the test, you're gonna get a lower grade. Let's practice. If you don't finish the test, are you gonna get a lower grade? That's right. If you don't finish the test, you're going to get a lower grade. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.